All right, cool. So when we last left off, I was just barely getting interaction to work. I think there's a fair bit of progress, but what I need for this to do is to get it to where I can just put an interact command, something like self.interact, which I think is the name from the upstream version, which isn't implemented, I guess, and have it work that way. It might take refactoring some of the logic that scene uses for its rendering. Close that. I forgot how the interaction even worked, man. I also, I redid a lot of the bindings and a lot of the tooling that I'm using in Vim. So I fully expect to forget how to do stuff while I'm doing this. Man, I forgot how this even worked. I think it started with window. OpenGL render window on mouse motion. This is right. I don't need any of this. Don't want to quit it though. I just swap in a new one here. Okay. Okay, let's go to the master version of the upstream Manim. And open up this one's window. Oh wait. Is this on origin? I guess this isn't the upstream one. Is that Manim 3? I guess it's not. Okay. Remote V. I'm going to pull upstream. And go to the master there. Okay. Now this one's window. Mouse motion, mouse drag, mouse press. Yeah, and I want probably the drag. I want to do the rotation. To rotate the camera. So let me do this. Let me just go this virtual env. Run the surface example. This when you hold D and then move, that's when it rotates. Okay. I think I got it stuck. There we go. So I think I'm gonna make it less complicated than that. I'll just do it on mouse drag that it shifts the camera by default. But I think the first thing to do is factor out scene.interact. So there's a window into a loop in which updates the frame while under the hood calling the pipe event loop. So just keeps calling self-to-update frame basically. Okay. Frame basically. Okay. I guess we don't have anything like that. Okay, so this is right above embed, and I think we do have embed. Cool, so right in here, put an interact. And this is just going to want to quit interaction. I'm not sure what that does. I wonder if I can... It looks like this is the only reference to it. Oh no, my thing is just being wrong. Okay. So it sets it to false. It's used to unlock object data, which we don't do anyway. And Q is used to stop it, I guess. Okay, because this is while not self.quit interaction. I wonder if that's the easiest way to make it quit. Like, why don't you just have quit trigger a callback? Well, I guess this is the way it triggers a callback. Isn't it? So when quit interaction becomes true, it's going to destroy the window. But it won't actually stop. I just do window.destroy, then I guess it'll continue doing whatever it was doing. So let me actually... I'm gonna run the surface example. Oh, it's just example scenes. And this one. And here. Let me just... right here. I'll just stop and interact. After I close it, it actually it has to stop. Because the window's not there anymore, so if I press Q. Oh no, it keeps going. Interesting. And it didn't destroy the window. So I guess self.window.is closing, that was still false. Gotcha. So I think I'll just do pretty much the same thing that this is doing. Well, self.quit interaction. Self.window.is closing. I don't know how that is closing is set. It's only referenced right there, so I guess maybe that's something Pyglet does. Or maybe not. Let's see if that's a modern GL thing. Maybe it isn't. Oh no, there is. Window.is closing. I guess it's just something that that these windows do. That's getting loud. Okay, so I'll just do the same thing here. Self.quit interaction is false while neither is closing or quit interaction. This is where I'm going to want to do the render loop. And if it's closing, I can just do this. Yeah, that. And quit interaction. This. Yeah, that. And quit interaction. We don't have a unlock object data, so I guess this just doesn't have to be there. So it's just this. So that's fair. Let me I'm gonna say call the render loop here. And then I'll just break. Just to test that this is doing what I think it's doing. So I go here and I do self.interact. Then afterwards, I'll just move this square. Right. Okay. Nope. Test has no attribute window. But this has no window. This is the scene. I think it should have a window. This does here. So how should the architecture of this look is sort of the question. Because I know the renderer has a window. Window. Well, anyway, it's set here. Here, self.window. And the scene has access to the render, actually. So I can just get it from the renderer. So let's do that. So it'll be self.renderer.window. This will be self.renderer.window. And same thing here. Okay, I think that should at least not crash. Great. Okay, then calling the render loop. This should be... I think it's just this. Just render self-1 self.moving objects. And I think self.moving objects is possibly not used for rendering. What did I do? Moving objects. Yeah, it isn't used. I wonder why there's no warning for that. But okay. I think I can just... Well, I wouldn't want to call this forever, I don't think. Well, how do I make sure this doesn't do an infinite loop? When I call render.render, that's going to go here. It's going to update the frame. And it'll swap the buffers in here. It's going to stall to make sure it's synchronized with the frame rate. So I think that's fine. Sleeping also won't work here. I can remove that. So I think this is fine. Nope. Render has no attribute animation start time. I must have messed up some random thing. Where did I even touch that? Render has no attribute? Oh. Oh, I saved the renderer from another branch. I think. What's the error for this? Original render has no attribute animation start time for 382. Oh wait, this makes sense. This actually original render has no attribute animation start time for 382. Oh wait, this makes sense. This actually does make sense. I see why this is happening. That's because the animation start time is set when you play an animation. So it makes sense that there's no animation start time. I think that's okay. So this will just define that. So update the frame. There's no animation start time. Maybe I should just default it to make this default to just some random time. And just so that this line won't crash. Well, so what's this -1? This is the frame offset. So if the frame offset is -1, this means this will always fail, which means update frame will always fail, which will mean I'm only updating frame once. So I think I can say if frame offset not equal to -1, only then do that. Now animation elapsed time. But it should have been -1 in that case. Animation, oh, this is down here, this while loop. Okay, so this won't work. Although, how did, oh, I see. It's gonna look at this animation elapsed time even if, frame offset is something that should make it always 0. Why should I do this when there's no animation? Maybe this logic, which is encapsulating how long the animation is running, shouldn't even be here. But that'd be too much work, so I'm just gonna say, I just need if frame offset is -1. Then just do these things once. Oh, that's going to make for some pretty bad code, and then return. Let's see if that'll work. And it still won't, because there's not even a window background color. Well, this can be brought up, although it shouldn't actually be here. Let's see if that works. Well, it looks like it is pausing, but the scene isn't refreshing. I wonder if I just put this in the wrong place. I did add the square, but nothing is animated at the time that I started the interact. Let's see, what if I move this after the call to play? I don't think it'll work. Let's see. No, the interaction still isn't happening. Okay, first thing, I'm gonna have to get rid of this awkward placement of this -1 check. Since that didn't work anyway. What I'm going to have to do is either take out this logic with the animation elapsed time and put it into play, which I think would make sense. Or do something more specific to interact. I think I'm gonna end up taking out this logic. If I can do that. So Play internal. It's gonna go to scene. That's gonna come here. And this is just going to render with self T moving objects. So I could bring the timing logic T moving objects. So I could bring the timing logic out into this. Although that would actually cause conflict with the other renderers, Cairo render and stuff. So I can't do that. So I think I will actually have to do something more special for interact. You know, since animation elapse time and animation start time are set before an animation, or at the time that you call for an animation to be played. So I can just make these anything so that it only does one iteration. I think? Yeah, definitely. So I can say self.render dot animation elapsed time. I guess that'd be technically 0. So then when this is called, I'll still need the animation start time. So I'll just make the start time also 0. Then when this is called, it's going to set the color, it's going to update the frame. And this will just work out however it works out. Actually, I wanted to set the elapsed time if it's getting set. That'll happen. Self.windows not none. It'll swap the buffers. Animation elapsed time less than frame offset. I want this loop to just fail. And frame offset is -1, so that should happen. Okay, let's see if that works any better. Okay, it rendered and it stopped. So that's a start. Let me see if it works with the interaction moved back. No, that works too. So that's a little bit better. All right, so then the next thing to do is figure out why the interaction isn't working. First thing, I want to make sure I didn't break it before. If I put self.wait. Okay, so if I do self.wait, that will do it. If I do self.interact, that won't do it. Okay. Don't remember what's happening in self.wait. And I don't actually know when the callbacks are called on the window. It was on mouse motion. Yeah, I'm not sure when that was called. If I look at what happens in wait, this will just do an animation. I think it's on, could it be on swap buffers? Oh, that would make sense. Well, no, swap buffers should have been called. Should have been update frame. Was self.window set? Because then the self.window was set. Then it would have called swap buffers. Let me see. Swap buffers being called, but it's still not updating. Is it getting stuck in a loop somewhere? I wonder if it's continually updating the frame. It's continually doing that as well. So what could the weight be doing differently? I guess one thing is I could just make self.interact be one big weight. That'd be pretty bad. So one thing is I could just make self.interact be one big weight. That'd be pretty bad. So one thing is weight we'll call play internal. Maybe something related to update to time or something like that. It's probably not, to be honest. What I'll have to do is just put a debugger here. Start debugging there and see when it gets called if I use weight. Okay, so look at this track trace. Don't know any of these. Window.swap buffers, okay. So it happens when window.swap buffers. It's true. Uh-oh. Did I break it? There we go. So it is on window.swap buffers. So why was that not... I wonder if the updater was added. Could that be it? No, it'd have to be. Oh no, I totally know it. Add updater. The updater is processed, like that change happens, in update to time. And update to time is going to call update mobjects. So I have to call update mobjects. Yeah. So while not this, it's going to render and then update mobjects, although I don't have a DT anymore. Maybe I should just call this on a constant time loop. Let me see if I can get the off by ones here, right? If I go to render, then I'll want this to wait the length of time of one frame before I update them objects. So I'd want to go through here, update the frame once, that's fine. Swap the windows once. And then it's going to enter this. And I want this to stall for one frame before updating again, I guess. Yeah. Right now, I don't think it's entering this at all. Nope, it is. Which is perfect. Wait, is that perfect? Elapsed time less than frame offset. And frame offset was -1. Wait, so how is that even happening? I'd expect... Oh, so it's going to take time.time. This just only get triggered once? I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to put a debugger here. Let's see what's going on. So it'll swap the buffers. And it didn't enter it because I took too long. let's do this. Now, animation elapsed time. It's this. Frame offset isn't -1. Did I put an animation at the front? Oh, I'm not interacting at all. That would explain that. Okay, so quit that.